What you up to? Let's talk about overdrive pedals today. I know, it's a big shocker, isn't it? This kind of comes about from a Facebook post in the Wampler pedals tone group I saw a few days ago. And it was basically the idea that a few people thought that if a pedal's green, it's got to be a Tube Screamer clone. And there's a secondary question also, I'm kind of tying this all into one video, is if the Nobels ODR-1 is in fact a Tube Screamer clone. Quick and short answer, absolutely not. Nothing like a Tube Screamer at all. Much more neutral, not as much mids, more bass, more gain capability, more clipping capability as well. A lot of guys like to use the ODR-1 for more of a lower gain drive, at least most of the guys I know that use it like that. Tube Screamer, I'm sure you're familiar with the Tube Screamer. Mid-range, humpy, but it's nice and creamy. Has some cool stuff. Some people like it pushing an amp. Some people like it clean in front of an amp. There's no right or wrong. And lastly, the Euphoria, which is, it's not like anything, either of the other two. It would be a non-inverting op amp with a passive tone control going into another operational amplifier circuit that gives it some more volume. And the switch here changes the diode function. So if you watch the last, I think it was the last video, maybe the video before that, where I had a breadboard and I made like this real quick circuit, and a lot of people said, oh, which pedal is the most similar to that? So apparently you guys like that quick circuit I made up. It was somewhat similar to the Euphoria, kind of, sort of. But the clipping function is very similar to the Euphoria. So we have the open setting, which is no diodes. I explained that in the last video. Smooth setting, which is soft clipping diodes. And then crunch, which actually on the Euphoria is both the soft clipping and the hard clipping. With that said, I'm playing into Wampler Bravado, an amp we make. So it's kind of a black-facey sort of thing. Kind of, sort of, with a little bit more mids and more headroom. And I like it better. It's prettier. All right, so here we go, my clean tone. And let's just jump right into the Tube Screamer. I know it's the one in the middle, not the one on the right. It might mess with your OCD, because it messes with mine a little bit. But I think the Tube Screamer is a cool one to start with. On all these, I have the gain pegged, just for a good comparison's sake. So let's go with it. That is the Tube Screamer, of course. And then we go to the ODR-1, which, again, totally different thing than either of the other two, but still really cool. And then on to the Euphoria. And for fun, let's go into the different clipping modes because it's fun. A little bit of volume drop because it's clipping more, so we'll crank up the volume a bit. Onto the crunch setting. Another I like to really kind of demonstrate with different pedals is how it's going to clean up. So let's kind of do that same test, put this back in the open setting, and we're going to start with the tube screamer again, clean up my volume on my guitar. Same test on the ODR-1. Onto the Euphoria. So there you go. It is absolutely not true that all green pedals are tube screamers, and it is definitely not true that most overdrive pedals on the market are tube screamer clones. Now, with that said, let's be honest here, there are a lot of tube screamer clones on the market, probably thanks to Build Your Own Clone and a lot of other DIY type sites that sell like those, circuit board kits with all the parts, and you can build your own, you can put your own name on it, and that stuff's great. I think that stuff is awesome. I think it's a fun tool, and it's a very educational tool to learn a lot about electronics. But it's definitely not true that a lot of builders are just putting out tube screamer clone after tube screamer clone and putting a different name on it. That's just not true. So anyways, I hope you like this video. Hope you learn a little bit about pedals and tones and overdrive type things. If you have any comments, questions, make sure you comment below. See you in a few days with a new video. Later!